Okay, hello. Yeah, we should be able to hear. Okay. So before lunch, I wanted to show you the ledger evaluation report. So I created you have to create a ledger profile. So we are looking at PK1 business. Okay, so this PK1 business unit, the base currency is sterling pound. Okay. Then they have a reporting currency, I think it's US dollar. So I revalue the debtor, creditor, client balance sheet account. So this case, what the system will do, they will go through practically every single transaction. So for balance sheet item, okay, debtor, creditor, and client are also balance sheet item, but they are very special. The system only will look at those that are outstanding. So even though you don't match them, it's considered outstanding. So you have to match them, and then they appear in the list here. So this case, 5400 is a bank account. So for balance sheet item, will be from day one until now. Day one until now, so they usually will take the ending balance. So in this case, you see this rate here, right? This will be the rate that you set up. So you ever use the evaluation, this will be the rate revalue. Then they'll give you the plus minus realized on gain or loss basis. They will see in these two columns. So every single one you see, then we have my debtor starts from 6.4. You look at the bottom. So this one is this 6.4 series are debtors. So for debtors, they will take outstanding. So you can see the rate. So one way you do valuation, check the rate via this method. If not, will be you have to check the rate via your period table rate for the various currency. So they actually practically, and they see they can cause one account multiple because of the currency. They go by really the currency. Then you have various amount that will be posted. 6 series are the debtors and 7 series are the interco, 8 series are the, so these are all outstanding. The ending balance, they will tell you that the gain and loss, they will post these two amount. These two amount, the net effect actually is 18 plus. So they tell you how many debit and credit you see that gain and loss. So every account also partly currency code is one of them, plus if there's ledger analysis, they break down by that. So may not be just one line, right? The various line count. That is the ledger revaluation. So if you were to use a thing, see this one got 99 page, but right now this business unit still not so huge. So you can have easy because you see ledger revaluation profile, you can have one for debtor, one for creditor, one for client, one for balance sheet. Or you can have it. The only balance sheet concept is day one, from day one until now, current period. The financial is Jan to December. Financial. The ledger revaluation report that I wanted to show you. Your current SUN6, you can also run, but you can don't post. You can take a look. It's will be actually like that. You don't post. By default, it's no post. Is no. That is the ledger evaluation. For extended analysis, currently I don't see that here. Okay. For extended analysis, basically is actually additional information of the particular analysis dimension. So that means you can create uh, more information added on to that particular analysis code. So in this dimension, things is this thing under action. There's this thing called extension field. So the extension field allows you to, you can create. But when you create, right, actually there are forms that need to be changed also. Because your analysis code need to have all these fields in order to calculate. So this is added on to analysis code. Let's say this is department, but you will want to, this department, let's say right now it's all salesman. So if you want to know the salesman additional information, you can create additional information. Like this salesman belongs to, when you read that, when it start doing or start period or something like start date, join date, whatever. Additional information of the analysis code. So we can have here like, if there are sets of one set of 250 grams, then another set of 40 grams. So there is a limit of, so even with one analysis code, you want to input, see that information, if let's say you need that, okay, what's the length, okay, that you require to add. Okay, there are things that, these are text length. Okay, they are fixed field. Fixed field, that means we can, sometimes we can drop down, like numeric field, value, or you have date field. So you can have different fields to serve different purpose for the additional analysis. So the join date and so on, this one will be a date field already. You don't use the normal like 15 characters for this. So this one is an added information that you can actually tries to every analysis code just meant when you create it. So when you actually do that, right, when you did that, that means inside your analysis code here, you will see more field. So when you do this, then if you upload, then your Q&A also got to be changed. So sometimes you want to do something, but then you actually become, but various multiple other things that you need to add on also. It's not just like you create this, you use no. So it's just like right now on the add structure, another, let's say you can add another L codes. It's actually changing the structure of the whole business. This one also some sort of change a bit of the structure of the business. Because your template, all this got to change. Even the template of this analysis got to be added with the additional field. Doesn't mean that you add there, right? There's not that what are the fields required. You automatically populate, you will not. You have to customize that form to have the additional information. So this one is the extension, and we call it analysis code extension. Sometimes certain things that you say you key in, but then it's like static, always static. It's a static thing. Then actually when you create a code, you can input inside there. Things that why you have additional description is because every single transaction it is different. That's why you actually inside the ledger description with an additional field. This one is static, different. This one is not based on transaction level. This one is static. This particular salesman join date one is fixed, like static. Means trade already will be there.
Change now.
Oh yeah, real time. When you change now, you will change. Whereas the transactions are every time different. That's a good. So the extended analysis is like static data, fixed one. Of course, if let's say you have audit trail, then you can change when this person changed that thing. Audit is turned on. So this one is considered customized fields for analysis. So it works. So when will you use? I see so far will be those customer. We did. I did some not logistic. It's a very big company. Right? They have interface from various systems. Then they need to, because that system got in, they need to have, they treat some system like a repository of all these things also. Instead of looking to that, certain things that finance need to have, you see immediately from here. Finance got to go to another system to look at. So let's say they will find this to map from that system into financial system. So I think that's why the R&D expand this analysis scope, that portion, which is good lah. I think it's good. So, but then remember, this one is static data. It's not like based on transactions. So reference data records included. Okay, this one so far I see for your case, what it means, that means whenever, that means this one can have like create in progress to be used. So somebody can actually go and open this in order to be activate, like credit card they can give you, then somebody has to activate. So the system also comes with this facility right now that wherever a new code is created, right, you can have another party to open up, to activate it to be used. Okay, that is particular status here. Okay, it's always open. Currently, I saw your business unit is always open. I show you my EK1. The business unit so far is always open. In some customer, they have like checker or something like that. So the person create, then the person got to really go to check before they activate this account to use. This one applies also to supplier or this. Let me see right now I create. See this thing? So when it's a draft mode, I cannot use this account at all. So someone has to go and open it. Only in open status, then the account considered activated, then you can use the account scope from there. So some company, they have this kind of like creator, then there's somebody checker, then you can actually set this. But so far, I saw my PK1 is set, but your original business unit always open. So unless you all require this kind of need to activate, then you will need to set this. If not, so this one not apply just to child count. All the static data creation, supplier addresses, all bank details, everything will be like that. When created, it's always in draft mode. This is new. Any other questions? I will show you here. What creditor? Yeah, there's no question on this morning. So now I will show you the payment run, the sample. Just find my creditor. I need to find my creditor. All the creditors that I can use.
For this payment run, right, not necessarily that we using e-banking or not, we can use this option.
Yes, but then you have to set up the payment profile, all these things. Then you have to educate the users to do, yeah. And then you have to customize the payment advice. So let me see. Wow, creditor account. Okay, look at my PJ1 business. That this payment. I will show you one that is payment by force marker. It's so when we want to have payment, it's just like the ledger revaluation one set up. So this payment profile is for my supplier, so I can set my supplier range, range. And then in order that when the user pay that time, right, they can freely select the range that they need. It's a range. Then they actually can choose. So my selection criteria I have to put accounts. Then you place you have to put include provisional and so on. So right now this database I get like half of it. Then from there, I have also to put because payment can run by force marker. That means I have to go and mark the invoices to then they can pay. Or you can pay by due date. Due date is based on the cut off. So if you set payment terms right, that means your transaction plus the number of days equals to the due date. So that is the due date. So you have to provide a call. So usually like client run this month usually cut off at 31st of May. All transaction, all due date up to that date will be selected if you go by. Okay. Then we have allocation payment that marker, that means you can run by the marker. So for marker wise, you have the force marker or the numerical. So some system comes with zero, the numeric marker 0 up to 9, 1, 2, 3 until 9. Okay. The marker, numeric marker is actually user definable. Okay, as I mentioned earlier on this morning, one of my clients, what he did was he actually used 0 as January, then 1 as February, and so on. So basically, everything when you upload the invoices, that journal type, he will for that new month, he will actually set a marker. So this month is this, right? He will set as 6, 6. Then when the user every time use the journal type, when you upload, there is a marker there. It will upload at 6. All the transactions, the invoices are uploaded as marker 6. So you can choose, oh, I want to choose marker 6. That means it's May invoices and so on. So it actually is user definable. It's not fixed. The system doesn't fix it. Okay? Then they can last, if let's say you want more criteria, you'll be going by marker and by due date. So it's both. So even though you marker, let's say I have marker 6, but if the due date doesn't match, you will still not pay. Very seldom user will use it because in the end, the person doing payment is very tough. Very tough, I tell you. It's either you go by due date or you go by force marker. Numeric also depending. Okay? These two, the combination of these two very seldom. It's really very tough. Allocation marker only will be just one numeric marker fixed, no change. Okay? So mine is force. Okay? So this one will be a payment. And then the payment method, check payment. Okay? The difference between check and bank, this is just a terminology of assigning a payment method. Okay? The difference would be if you choose the bank payment, right? If you really go via e-banking, have to be set as bank payment. The reason so that when they run the payment run, although the supplier may be selected for payment, but they must make the condition that they must have a bank details information. If it doesn't have, system will not even pay, even though you're outstanding. But if I said they check the bank detail, whether this supply bank's information is not there, you will not be selected. So this one is actually a stop, so that your banking file at the end is a complete one. If you don't do that, you upload, you should have issue because the bank information is not there. Although you can pay, bank information is. Okay, because there are some I know they sell check payment, but it's a bit risky. So we treat it try and e-banking, definitely a bank. They know e-banking one still can check. But depending also right now, users more of them are e-banking, so it's bank payment. So this case, I haven't checked my supplier here whether it's so right now I just want to show you a payment advice. Okay. Then option wise, okay, this payment file identifier basically just to identify to back the information of this payment profile. Okay. That's also I just choose one that is 098 to Z, so it's about 36 profile that you can create. The bank details code, this one will be the payment account. This one I put here, I cannot change during runtime. Then this one will be the payment run listing. The payment run listing basically, the good thing about Sun system is that usually when they try to process certain things, we will say you can put as low first so that you can see the report. To confirm the report is in order, just like that's how we run ledgeration. You can check whether the rate is correct. If it's not correct, you can still change the rate and then run the ledgeration, not to post first. Okay, so this one will show you all the invoices that will be paid. Okay. So currency threshold, that means you can limit. So do you want to filter out just to include certain currency? Certain currency. So if you want proper, because e-banking are all mainly Sing dollar, so you pick all the Sing dollar. Sing dollar. So you can limit that. So I can limit, let's say for this case, I only want GBP. The rest not required unless you have a lot of currency. Usually e-banking will be the broker. Let me see my supplier. Whether this one is one. Higher. So when you pay, right, you see about this payment method, this is the one that I'm referring to. This one must match with the supplier. So there are various conditions when they select for payment. So supplier, they must be in this supply created in this supplier function. The payment method must match. Okay. And therefore, let's say your case must that payment profile must include last transaction. Do not, and there will never be any transaction. So for check payment, they won't check for bank details. Okay. And then the transaction, that is the static data way of checking whether on the code level. Then come to transaction, they will check whether, okay, as I say, whether it's rough book, the payment profile includes rough book. Another one will be it's outstanding. And then if you go by marker, then you go check the marker. So my marker is 4. My marker is also, there must be false marker. So you look at ACA. So there are transactions here. So you see this particular supply I'm selecting, there is transaction. So, so because if let's say right now I want to force it to be paid, right, I need to mark a marker. I need to put false marker. Okay, so for in this app, in this web kind, you can actually read the first character. It's a bit different from the screen is the same, but the user will feedback, yeah, understand this part. So what I can just click the pause, click the first letter faster. If not, you thought they must always click the drop down. I don't have to. So I must pause, then they'll be paid. So once I do that, then I post by transaction. This post doesn't generate ledger entry, just like what you're doing right now. It's just to this facilitate to save that particular whatever you've done. Now I do another one. Yes, it's okay. You see, right now, when you do matching, right, you put to be allocated, right? To be allocated. By default, it's not allocated. So to be allocated, debit credit must balance. Then you can count. For R, for reconcile for your bank, you don't have to because it's a one-sided. You just matching against your bank statement. Okay, so there are other markers that I've told you. Okay, so for your to be allocated, once it's posted, it becomes A allocated. You must remember this because it's important when you do Q and A. Okay, so not allocate, not that. Then there is blank. Blank. When you come to Q and A, there isn't anything they call it. Not they call it. They put a question, not an exclamation mark. Then there's another thing will be numeric marker that I've mentioned 0 to 9. They are known for selecting of the transaction for payment purpose. Another one would be the false marker is also a selection of payment. So false, you go to another one, W. W means withhold. Okay, we come in here to the marker. W is withhold. Supply. You cannot choose paid one. See the 0 to 9? Then there's withhold. False. All these we don't have to balance them, okay, see. And that one is meant for to select a transaction for payment run purpose. Okay? And then correction is the same as to be allocated. Correction meaning that means mark that this transaction, let's say I do this entry wrongly, then I do another one. By right, in order to say that these transactions are a correction, it's supposed to put correction marker. And correction marker must balance. It's just that users are so sometimes they are confused. They say which one should I use? Then we'll tell them you just use to be allocated. It's very yeah. But in actual fact, last time when I teach our time, correction to reverse a payment that is done wrongly or correct. So that a person do really look at entries and go, oh, we do how many corrections. But okay, I it's okay, never mind. Just make sure you match. Just put to be and so correction usually for payment run will use this because when you void the payment, they want as C. So this is very special. So if you don't do that, the payment run, when you do void, you want as C. Reconcile, reconcile mainly bank use for your bank account. You know what? I've seen some of the users that I've seen, I go for training. I hate it. I see them. I see their supply. I hate it. I can't see a transaction. Oh my God. They can put reconcile. It's wrong. They think that put reconcile is match. No, 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 no. Okay? Reconcile only meant for doing your bank account code. It's to match against your bank code. And that one don't have a double entry effect. When it comes to supplier, always must have double debit credit balance. Okay, so this, as I say, false marker with full marker and 0 to 9 is meant for to select the transaction for the payment run purpose. Yeah. The rest of the marker, yeah, the split, okay, just now when had mentioned, right, okay, not your other color, you guys do after split. So once posted to be matched, to be allocated, becomes allocated marker. When the payment run is being run right, paid, later you see the system will mark as paid. Okay, that's what I'm going to show you. So right now, one more. Okay, show you one more. So you see right now I forced that. The rest will not. Ready, I can pay. So you go off my marker to select. Okay, so right now, short SQL. So I created, so you can create the various payment profile. Some of them created many of them because one business unit has multiple person doing, at least two or three. So when you have at least two or three can be doing at the same time, you have to create multiple profile. One profile usually can be accessed by one person. I've seen, especially Hong Kong company, I don't know, they like to have two or three person to do payment in a business unit. Maybe their volume is a lot. So, but you have to be careful, they're not cannot be overlapping. No? So right now, my created I created a post. Yeah, I know why because become draft again. It's a bit itchy. You cannot activate. Activate. And now I can see. Pause. So you can see this payment profile. Right? Once you have choose the pause, right? By default, you put no. Okay? So if you go by due date, then this base date of payment is very important. Anyway, you don't give discount. So this one I do this date and this date. Okay? So this one is basically the cut off date. If you go by due date, look up, you will choose. That means they will look at all the supply invoices up till that date. So don't have, then actually you skip this. So this one is the value date. By default, will be today's date. Then posting period become period. So you see here, this box comes up because I opt to let the user select again. Maybe sometimes they want to only pay for one or range. And will be the payment account code. This will be the credit. This box is compulsory. No discount, never mind. It will be zero. There will be nothing on discount portion. So yeah, practically if you want to select more criteria, like some supplier, because right now I'm only choosing account. You can only use account analysis or something called account priority to they only selected supplier that's a priority. Somebody okay. Wait, somebody okay. So there are so right now because if you go by range of account, so this is just supplier code, but you can have added some customer they have overseas supplier. So from this range here, they may not know who are overseas because the numeric doesn't because it's sub, so they can use account allocation to say, oh, these are maybe 50, then you not select. So you have added condition when you select the supplier also. Big print, this one is because I don't have enough money the GL code right now. And that's why there's a difference of trying to make this payment. And so right now the system will generate the payment run missing. You can see at the end of the report, I think there's only three. You see, I put a whole range. Why they never select them? Because I mark only the invoices that I want to pay. So you see, I put the whole range, but those that are marked, then they'll be. So they will tell you this creditor, these are the invoices that will be paid. Every single one of them. So the ending, right? You see the end of the report, they tell three supplier, the total will be here. And this is before the bank amount, then deduct this will be the end. This is our payment run listing or standard payment run listing. So user is supposed to check this report and ensure everything's in order. If let's say there are invoices that they don't want to pay, then they have to go back to account allocation, pick out the marker, then run the payment run listing with Dong first until this report is final. If any changes, always go to account allocation, then come there, so on. So this is how it works. So right now, this one is post note. I'm going to show you one that has a. Let's see. So you see the last parameter that you assign is sure that you check. So right now, once it's set to post ESR, the system will generate a payment run listing again, but with a posted journal number. Because right now I selected for post. So there's a journal number being generated. So when it's ready to post, right, you'll come to a payment document. So this is where you print your remittance advice, payment advice. So there's a number assigned. Just I'm sure CD. So you see this payment advice, so they'll show you this one. This one will be the same as your this report. It should be the same. It should be the same. Yes, show you the yeah. Oh, okay, I show you. So account location you couldn't see. You can go account inquiry. So right, you can see from here, if they match, right, there is an allocation reference number, right? They will have the same. You see the marker is big. And then the one that has the payment number. Really one. Sơn nó có sẵn. Sơn nó có nghĩ thách thấy. Yeah. Cái là gì? Yeah. But the sort you must click on the column. Okay, they activate, right? You must see this thing. Then you sort. Right now, you see, I managed to sort this. So you see, there's a credit and debit, right? They will have exactly the same allocation and then allocate today's date. Okay? And then the marker become paid. Okay? Then the reference number 38. The number can be customized to generate, like if you want start with 6 series or whatever, you can have alphabet, but then the alphabets will be static and cannot have varying static. Then you can have a running number. So this one will just run on its own.
Even run access, right? If there's one user using that program, can another user?
They can use, but must use different profile. If within the business unit there are few person who do payment.
So just now the payment profile should say
PYP, payment profile. PYP. Then I think it's governed by Rebecca, by HQ. That's why it's meant you have to go through them. It's different. It's not like right now you're on premise and then right now it's cloud. And everything they will have to go through them. If it's on premise one, usually I can see they'll let you do whatever you want. Right? But code wise they have to govern. That's what I see in some of the customer that I deal with. So this is the part on the cake. I tell you the and to match everything. Then you do wrong, right? Or you don't want to pay, you can void the payment also. So if you think that the payment you don't want, there's this void payment. It's together lah. So void payment only generate for this kind of payment run. Those that you do matching manually, not considered. You will not. So this part here, if let's say you want to void, so you must have something on hand so that you have information. So which supplier and then bank account, then what is the payment reference number, and then what's the allocation marker after this. What they do is that they reinstate that particular invoice to be available for payment again. So what they do is right now you have a debit to the creditor, right? When you do what payment, they credit the creditor, debit the bank. Then the credit and debit they will mark as correction. Then the invoices will be released for payment. Usually they cannot find the fetching, they will not let you void because my payment reference number is right now. Go to account. I think I'll see this. Let's see the instead of the invoices become not eligible. That's how the payment run works. Only your colleague can 2%, 3% do payment. Because yours is quite a lot. So it's like that. If for a lot of suppliers to pay, usually they will do that way. So but let's say they do at different timings, then it's okay, you have one profile. But if they do almost at the same time, usually they do payment profile. Just in case, because they're not overlap. But for
What
it,
do you mean by two payment?
because on the payment profile, that payment profile can only be just by 1%. Yeah. And then also when you have this kind, I think usually the case will be they in charge of certain effort to certain effort supplier. How you actually differentiate for the two of the colleagues to payment.
Yes, we try to.
Or business,
Yeah,
it is by business unit, then
Yeah.
I'm talking amount is it is per person do one business, then it's okay. It's not that one business unit, 2% doing payment. If it's two, then they are independent. One business we can one payment per power. I mean, what I mentioned is there's multiple, two or more, 3% in one business.
You mean like different bank?
Yeah, correct. Usually it will be the case because that one is different condition, different bank account for different stuff. Sometimes user even they P2, they also use it. They say they just want to clear the payment. But I say after that although there's an option for you to generate gain and loss, right? That the user has to make sure they go via they can actually generate gain and loss at the same time. The gain is based on whatever rate that we saw. Next one also can generate the gain. Not wrong. If not, if you don't want to generate gain, that means you want to set because the system right now pay according to what the invoice has. So that's getting pound. They see there's no gain and loss. So if there's you can post another manual journal for real life gain. Even on company, sometimes they don't want the user to pay that time go and pay. Then the user has too many work. So various reasons. Okay. So this one is percentage. All the marker done. So the only important thing is to check this thing, the payment run, whether to select the invoices for payment is correct. That is the user portion. It can be based on various conditions. My scenario is just false marker. So it depending on how you make it. Some payment profile can ever go for one discussion just to create a payment profile to set different condition. It takes a long time because they also has large volume. It's also a manufacturing company. So they also have large volume. They have also like, but then for document wise, I actually never run payment collection, but the concept is the same. The only thing is I don't know they have a document that can tie or not. But right, I saw there's a payment collection, but not too sure whether it really works. Let me see. Okay, there is a collection here. Still have some. Look. Let me see. Collection. What is Let me see my link. It's 640. Trying to set a customer. It's gonna be a customer.
Payment run, yeah, can just now the one that, yeah. The payment profile I cannot. Now the payment run. So far, mobile. If it is, I don't want, and then I will try to allocate them.
It generate payment revenue. So
Yeah, I just need to create the payment, right? The payment profile. Like if it is, I don't want, and then can.
Oh yeah, not yet. Not yet. Yeah. The payment collection. Why the customer? After the payment collection. Hong Kong didn't use that one. Okay, have they use it?
I'm not sure, but
No, the collection I think they use. But payment run I tell you there is payment profile. But I think it's set up. No, it's set up. They have this one. Cannot go in. I only see this thing inside. This thing is there. Go by detail, check. And but the funny, I don't know why and what. Can but as I mentioned, right, there are involved a couple of things to set up. Not straightforward. As I told you, when you're going to set up something, you go through a testing phase. I know what you're trying to achieve. You want to do yourself, but there is some setup involved. Then you tackle, then you got problem, you go back consultant. Actually, we don't entertain. Really, frankly speaking, we don't entertain. You have to do your own test. Frankly speaking, yeah. Yeah, that's why I say then that one will apply like the force marker. The user got to go and mark them, but the user got to go and mark them.
sometimes they want to mark right, they couldn't make
Mark is to mark to select the setting. Correct. So every time they want to make payment, they mark first, then they select first. That's why you see just now the if you have, then there will be a payment voucher involved. But this one is a process that you have to implement. Better to implement. The consultant, yeah, how to use it. It's not just that you create, then in the end you halfway, then you got come something come up, then you don't know how to resolve the issue. That is the issue. That part you go support there also that because you create the thing, so you actually becomes like little bit, then end up you're actually taking more time to do. Because it involves like you can customize your payment voucher, so you get the implementer to do they will customize it. But again, you have to go through a requirement because how you want like the important. That is the part. It's very important because I can tell you now, if let's say you go by phone, it means every time you have to go to every single supplier to mark the invoice. But then another shortcut will be the journal type will determine that this case You all have terms, right? I saw you all have terms, huh? Yeah, all right. Then you go by the use will be due date. So cut off. Then you see what's the ending due date you want to do.
Every time have to go and then update on next month.
You need
Because you see, so something like actually we can
Cut.
so on
The cut off the thing. Like for example, up to 20, yeah,
the cut off line.
February and then cut off. And if it is like just now the date that I choose like 28 on the payment profile, and next month it will auto change to 28 March. Or I
You have to
I have
put,
to
you
select
put
it.
the cut off date yourself.
I have to go and amend again and then put the.
You have to run payment profile. No need amend. Run the payment run. Run the payment. It's only running the payment run. This one here. This one. This one. This one. You have to put this one. Every
Yeah.
month, every time you want to make payment, you have to run this process. Yeah. This one to select invoices cut off by the due date. That's it. So correct. Then you post. Then everything will be matched auto for you. That's all. This is very commonly used. I can say every time used. As long as your supplier has about 50 and over. What's this? Last time generate check, right check, hotel, 200 check. After that, they have the computerized check. Then you let the system run the computerized check. The system, when you run, right, that's why instead of payment voucher, they come up with the computerized check. So that they perforated that thing, right, they just run. Some of them is that one booklet, those we are more atas one booklet. Then also have the sample that I show you, the supply, and then the all the invoices paid, then plus the check below. That kind also we also implement that. Right now, check no longer, not say longer, unless it's very expensive. So most of them will go via e-banking up. So that's why we do a lot of this part. But again, implementation is something. The thing is how you select. So your choice will be like, okay. So I get to customize the e-banking output. So I think maybe your Hong Kong HQS, the format is okay there. You have to go through the setup and then educate you on that. Because you have to go through one round of testing to make sure you are okay with the running of the thing system. Whenever you implement new things, you have to make sure you go through testing. You cannot just run and cannot do it. It's very good. In the end, you come with a lot of teething issues. The payment run and the void payment. Void payment also can void. Myanmar, you will have that. Definitely have that. Don't worry. Just that you have to, when it comes to this one, it's very fast, or as I said, very fast check. Because sometimes not every single invoice are paid. So if you don't want to pay them, because not although some of them are due, but if you don't want to pay them, what do you need to do?
Void payment.
No. If you haven't post them yet, you haven't post them. So if you don't want to pay them, how? You have to go account allocation to withhold them. There is a marker. There's a marker that we can, especially you go by due date. The only thing that you can hold the invoices not to be withhold. You see, right now you have all these match the due date criteria, but you don't want to pay, so you must have to mark withhold. By mark withhold, you must make sure next time, you must have I assume that you have an aging report. Your aging report must have the marker. Make sure there is a marker field So you can see, oh, this one I've go and open it to not allocated. Then next time you pay, you'll be selected for payment. You know, if you put withhold forever, cannot pay forever. Yeah. So when you do aging report, you must make sure the allocation marker must be obvious there. Huh? Very important, very important. If your aging report is designed in the training. So that's how our payment we will use it lah. So I don't know why helpful. No, it's actually the payment collection, but oh, because wait. Okay, I know why already. Let me try one more time. Wait. Maybe I tried. Okay, must create this thing. Let me try. Yes, 64004. Because of this. So on, let me create 6400. Yeah. That's why it's because of the bank, because the report didn't come out, so I couldn't see. Take a look, please. Yeah, but then, yeah, payment collection. What is this? I think it's 6402. I'm trying to see whether there's. I don't see any document being assigned. One document, even a sample document. There's this payment collection one with figures like I don't see any document on the payment collection run. I don't see any sample. So unless the payment collection can act as like the payment advice, then that one is something and act as a receipt. Oh, yeah, this our testing business unit don't have payment collection document. Only got payment collection ones. My colleague, I think he did want something, but I don't know whether any document. Any question on the sound system? The ledger evaluation, the payment one. Question? We want to ask about the update training, anything that you currently using, the question.
We have the sample data allow us to have on one time. To allow us to try to process whether
You have to key your own data. You have to upload own data. The thing will be, my question will be, your reports, that is done, your reports, current reports, right? The one that's going to do by HQ is your financial statement. Okay, see, when it comes to upgrade, right, you have your report pack that is currently
Q&A.
for Q&A 10, Q&A 10 report, upgraded your report.
Do you mean like, for example, do you mean those like aging report?
You have many EQA and
Yeah. Okay, so I understand. I'll tell you first. Okay, so there is a session that I'm coming back in June 24, 26. So that session is meant for, understand it's like you have queries on Q&A, then answer. But you must know that I cannot convert the report for you. Even convert report, I tell you I can quote you the days to convert. I have done this before. I can do 100 reports, but it will be a number of days. So because I can tell you Q&A, the Excel that is a function on the budget, but you have to go and really go and it may not be a straightforward, especially if you're a report designer. If your report is a very straightforward, pull up like that, yes, to convert is simple. That's what I can tell you in that area. Then, this I thought because your financial statement is a HQ report. Then they upgrade for you.
Suppose,
Propose.
hey, Carmen, are you there?
I am.
So the so-called vision on the MA pack, you guys will have that ready, right? Because Anna is asking.
Yeah.
That's right. So the MA pack, we will do the upgrade. We will then distribute like what we normally do on an annual basis, but this time round it'll be whenever you're onboarded to the SaaS environment, then the new pack will be ready for you to use.
Then coming about so how about like the data set template, all those
So
you
the data set template, we are building one for Hong Kong. So that should also be usable in the Singapore region as well, or the Asia. That anyone that uses the SUN6, that should be adoptable. So we will issue those templates back out for the users to use.
Because that one, the data set cannot be converted. It's entirely created from scratch. The
Yeah,
data set.
so there's a slight conversion that needs to be done. Is because we can give out the standard template, but we notice that everyone has their own customization. So depending on how how much customization they've done over the time that they have used the zip file, we will give them a simple solution that they can follow. But gradually, we will need them to migrate to a new file format once they are happy to use the data set. But we'll show you more detail once we've completed our testing on our side in Hong Kong.
Actually, when is their user acceptance testing?
That will be soon. That will be so for the Southeast Asia region will start in June. I think it'll be late June. So the info consultants are still working on the database to get it upgraded to the SaaS version.
Okay, so in short, can I say that by then, when they are in June, that business unit will have data inside there. Because currently
That's right. So
X95
we've already taken a copy of their existing database up to April. So once that's been upgraded, then they should have live or data up to April 2025, I think.
testing,
For
right?
them to then consume or continue to do the month end or try and attempt the month end.
In the testing in this X95 and 96, right? You'll be refreshed.
So they can, by that time they should be able to do it in their own database. So the test environment, so the X database is mainly for them to play around, get comfortable before then they go and attempt with the sort of a replica of their live database.
So after this training, they can actually just play on the maybe Q&A. Because right now there's no data, so if they do Q&A, there's nothing for them to work on. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'll need to double check if they can access to their existing database, because last I heard that they were still working on the sort of updating the database, the SQL database. If that's
No.
ready, then they can access.
No problem. My concern actually will be, okay, from my concern will be, because I will give them training, not a problem. Okay, because once I give them a training, because my training will basically on TK1 business unit, because my BKM business, they are data, so they can see something out of there. So I'm sure that when they actually convert their own reports, right, they want to see from the actual business unit. I think that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, actually, coming, we can see all these existing database in this test environment. So are the users able to go into those database?
They should be able to. It's just that avoid doing the data set going up. That's all we ask. So if you want to draw the report down, then that's fine. It's just don't do any data set up to your database.
What coming is concerned is that because they this is testing. I think for training they ask you the X95 96. So maybe after this session this week, you may get a go ahead from coming and Rebecca that whether if you convert a report, it can be retrieved from here. You're afraid that you post, they don't want you to post data or something like that. Maybe after that you'll drop them an email. I'll get Ivy them to drop an email after the training, whether they can actually make use of the existing business unit that they are working, so that they can convert maybe some of their local reports. We will do after this week training. Ivy will catch up with you. Okay?
As in expression of reports, we can use their own database.
Correct. Better ask them again, because I think maybe the IT is doing something. Okay, thanks, coming.
Great.
So, any question? So answer your question. Sorry, what's the name? Wendy.
You want to try, you want
I
to
know.
do something.
Never mind.
Compute without any hands-on.
Never mind. When I do PK and get the data, it's the same. We are just applying the business unit concern. The meaning is all the same. It's just that the code that you see is different. So when I go to Q&A, you still see something out. Okay, but for this Sun trading, because it's more like an update. So what I'm showing what are the things that are new, okay, and some queries on some additional features that currently you're not using. So there are certain things that maybe later on HQ will implement or let you know how to use it. Because setup wise, some things are done by HQ. So for my purpose here is more on the training perspective only. And so right now I'm just asking Timmy whether how can we extract data for you convert the report on your own. And so later on after this whole week training, IB will send catch up on this part here. And then let you all know. Okay. Any other questions? If there's no question, right, we take a break, then we will start with Q&A. Okay, start with Q&A. Q&A, you will spend all time. Okay. 10 minutes break. Okay. Sharon, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Also, okay.
yeah,
okay.
have to
I take note, I must take note. Because just now this one is new. Okay, so we will go through, so you can, so remember, this morning, right? If you have nothing in your, what you need to do, ensure that your sessions are, there's no sessions before you log out. Right? So under your, these sessions here, then you get this particular like human icon, then sign up. Okay. So I don't have to use because I'm going Q&A. Very confused. Yan Tan. Oh, Yan Qing.
燕青
Yan Qing 啊。你看我跟Ivy 讲了，there are some user 他的名字不在。
我可以进啊，
你可以进了吗？可以进了，因为这样的不是，永山你看过没有？
Hi everyone. Are you guys moving to the Q&A session now?
Yeah, we are going to the Q&A session.
All right. Let me restart the recording so I can have a separate.
Okay, thank you.
And also, you can use your own business unit